Hi, my name is Richard Bell. This short video is going to be on estate planning.
And I'm Khushhal Bains. We both work here together.
Bell Alliance, right?
Bell Alliance, yeah.
So, Khushhal, what should you be thinking about when you're looking at putting an estate plan together?
All right, so there's three documents that are the core documents when we're talking about an estate plan. The first, of course, is what most people think of, which is the will. The will deals with what happens when someone passes away. There's also two other documents that are really important, and they are, of course, the power of attorney and a representation agreement. Both these documents deal with what happens to your finances or healthcare decisions while you're living.
So the power of attorney is the one that focuses on the financial side of someone's life, if they're mentally incompetent or, in fact, just if they're out of town.
Yeah, absolutely. So you'll find often that people are out of town. They have all sorts of financial decisions to make, and it's really convenient if someone has a power of attorney already in place.
And I guess the key is they need to make sure that the power of attorney is one that can also be used in the land title office.
Absolutely. BC has really strict rules with with regards to how a power of attorney can be used, as well as how it's structured. So you really want to make sure that that power of attorney is reviewed by a lawyer in BC to make sure it works.
Okay, so and then the representation agreement, sorry, we call them rep agreements around the office. Very cool, right?
No problem. Yeah. So rep agreements, they deal with healthcare decisions, so essentially end of death decisions, but also in the few times that it happens that you've decided to do something different than what the hospital wants, yeah, you want to have a rep agreement. So you're thinking about in terms of perhaps you want to live out the remainder of your days in some place other than the hospital, or you're interested in alternative healthcare.
Okay, excellent. Now the big one, of course, is making sure you have your will done, and there's a whole bunch of different circumstances where it's absolutely critical. I mean, in our world, we're always talking to clients about the last distribution scheme you want to see is the one that's been set forth by the government in the estate administration legislation.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an interesting thing that one size fits all approach that the government has doesn't work for regular people, and it is definitely the scheme that they'll put in place, the decisions that the government will make. I've never had someone come in here and request that.
So what are a couple of the examples which really show, in fact, how poorly that may fit with someone's situation?
A great example is that if you have a spouse and you have kids, one of the things that the government does is it will distribute the first $65,000 to your spouse and then divide the remainder equally with all your kids. And I've never had a family come in and say, hey, if I pass away, please give a third to all of us. They tend to want to give directly to the spouse and then later entrust to kids.
Okay, so that's certainly a situation you would not want to see happen. And I guess the other one is where you have a couple without children and they're in the common disaster, that really sad situation. And essentially what would happen there is that the estate would flow potentially to the parents of the youngest person to have passed away in a common disaster.
Absolutely. Most people, heaven forbid they both pass away, would like all their assets divided equally between both sides of the family. Again, what the law does is it gives everything to the younger person's parents, or that dreaded situation that the in-laws get it all, which most people
So I guess the key is get these things put in place so that you're providing for security for your family. So I think that's sort of most of the areas we wanted to touch on in this video. But give us a shout, 873-8723 is our phone number. Look at our website, www.bellalliance.ca. Please feel free to send us any questions, make a phone call, whatever you like. Thanks very much, and Khushhal.
Thank you, and we look forward to hearing from you.
All the best.